It's production time. I'm Reid Stefan, realest puppet in the game. Today, we're gonna find out how good can bad singing sound with AutoTune. This tutorial is going to be focusing on AutoTune Pro's Graph Mode, which gives you manual control to draw in the exact melody you'd like to hear by hand. I'm going to be performing my full cover of Blinding Lights by The Weeknd with the help of my friend Nash Overstreet, who's an absolute beast with AutoTune Pro. This original YouTube short video got over 10 million views and millions more across TikTok and Instagram. So today we're going to be revisiting this exact session to find out if AutoTune can fix bad singing. So let's jump right into the session. I've been trying to call. I've been on my own for long enough. Maybe you could show me how to love. Maybe I'm going through withdrawals. You don't even have to do too much. You can turn me on with just a touch, baby. I look around and Sin City's cold and empty. No one around to judge me. I can't see clearly when you're gone. I said, ooh, I'm blinded by the lights. No, I can't sleep until I feel your touch. I said, ooh, I'm drowning in the night. Oh, when I'm like this, you're the one I trust.
Cool. There's the untuned raw vocal. So it looks like I got my work cut out for me. All right, so let's get to auto-tuning. I'm gonna add auto-tune to these vocals. Go up to graph mode, format makes it sound nice and natural. I'm gonna select the input type, low male, and track the pitch in.
I've been trying to call. I've been on my own for long enough. Maybe you could show me how to love. Maybe.
All right, cool. Now change the key to the key we're in, which is F major, I believe. And I'm just gonna start jumping in using the note object tool or the squiggly line tool and make these melodies go where they're supposed to. So I just draw right over the note and it will bring all the waveform to the note it's desired to be at instead of up here, while keeping all these natural vibratos, because the retune speed is at 10. And if you're not sure which note these notes are supposed to be, there's a piano indicator on the left right here that's a guide, as well as if you choose the selector tool up here, the little arrow, you can hold it down and it'll play the note as you drag it.
I've been trying to call.
Another fun tip is all these up here correlate to your keyboard's numbers up top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 4 is the selector button. 3 is the note object button. I kind of keep my left hand on those two buttons as I go just to make it fast.
I've been trying to call. I've been on my own for.
Cool, so this I want to make a new note object there. I can be careless with it, hit delete, and then it'll take it away from this bottom right here. Now there's a sliding note that seems like it might naturally want to have that glide. And if I want to keep the integrity of that, I can just go up to retune speed and loosen that up. And if I want the middle of that note to stay tight, I go right here and just reapply a nice little 10 speed note blob.
I've been on my own for long enough.
Now I'm going to over exaggerate. I want this note to happen, and I shouldn't be pulling it this much left, but what I'm gonna do is lower the speed so it's just a really nice slope. This note right here is at 10. I might even crank it harder than 10 just to make sure it's really tight.
On my own for long enough. Maybe you could show me how to love. Maybe.
And then sometimes you have a little note object right here where it kind of begins and goes into the note. And I like to keep those if possible, but I always draw a little note object so that it has this connecting line. If it's not there, you can see this starts out of nowhere kind of, and it doesn't have the same glide.
Maybe I'm going through withdrawals.
Cool. You could also hit the number 7 or this I-beam select this area, create or make curves, which will keep this exact thing and just make an auto-tune curve of it. So you can hit the arrow or number 4 and drag it fully intact of how it was performed down a step.
Have to do too much.
Sometimes that's useful to keep things that are a bigger change a little more integrous and accurate.
Have to do too much.
Now, some of these notes aren't going to be perfectly done because, again, this was an illustration of how good you can make bad singing. So in a real situation, you would have a singer try again, but this is funnier. So we're gonna leave it just as bad as it could be and fix it from there.
Sin City's cold and empty, no one around. No one around.
All right, gonna tighten that down. That little hump stuck up a little too much for my taste.
No one around to judge me. No one around to.
So as I go, also, when you're using Pro Tools, if you press the down arrow, it kind of starts the playhead wherever you currently are at.
I can't see clearly.
If you notice I'm whistling through a lot of this, I'm thinking of the scale in my head. All right, so if it's the 1 or the 6, the relativity to where I want the notes to be, even though they may not be sung correctly or on the notes that I planned on them being.
That's a really useful tip to help you envision the note that you want to hear before you click it in.
Yeah, so like this, going up to here, I'm like, ba, da, da. That's what I'm thinking. I don't want to go here. I can skip that and not waste my time. Not everybody's going to do that, but that's why I whistle my way through auto-tuning.
I can't see clearly when you're gone.
Instead of would be the 1, it's the 7.
I can't see clearly when you're gone. On. I said, ooh.
All right, so we've got the verse tuned. Let's move on to the chorus.
How do you take your singing from sounding like this? I'm like, hey, what's up, hello? Seen your pretty ass soon as you came in the door. I just wanna chill, got a stack for us to roll. To this. In love with the money, I ain't never let it go. And I get high with my baby. My name is Reid Stefan, realest puppet in the game.
And I'm Nash Overstreet.
And we are your new AutoTune instructors. I'll be in the kitchen cooking pies with my baby, yeah. The AutoTune Pro Course is your complete guide to the world's best vocal tuning software. My baby, yeah. We're breaking down the music industry's biggest secrets to make any singer sound like a radio-ready pop artist. First, you'll be learning how to tune bad singing. This is your complete beginner's guide to AutoTune Graph Mode and manual pitch correction for drawing in your notes by hand. Next, you'll be creating artificial vocal harmonies from just one lead vocal recording.
Instead of having to have a singer sing the harmonies, we'll just create them, saves time, let them go get the massage while you're doing the editing.
Yeah, and I could ride with my baby. Perfect. Way better than I would have sang it. Finally, you'll learn how to tune a naturally good singer to add that radio-ready polish that you hear on every modern vocal.
My mama don't like you and she likes everyone. And I never like to admit that I was wrong.
Get the AutoTune Pro Course now, only at wholeloops.com.
Let's move on to the chorus. So the chorus is on a separate audio track, so let's go open an instance of AutoTune Pro. Great. Graph mode again. Hit formant to make sure it sounds natural. We are in F sharp major, and the vocal is a pretty low male vocal. You could probably go either way with this, but I think low picks up a little more detail on a male vocal. Hit pitch and then
I said,
play it.
Ooh, I'm blinded by the lights. No, I can't sleep until I feel your touch.
I said I had my work cut out for me earlier. I may have underestimated. And also over here, you can expand it taller, shorter, wider, narrower. You can also just hit this magnifying glass and select everything you want in the window you're working in. And then if you hold Option, you can do the opposite. So zoom out instead of zoom in, etc.
I said, ooh.
I think we want to have this kind of come from down here.
I said, ooh.
Yeah, let's loosen that up a little bit, but that does the trick. Okay, so I see I'm playing with this retune speed in order to get this to stay natural, and then I'll just draw a stronger piece right over that.
I said, ooh, I'm blinded.
Da, 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 I want it by the by. So I'm just thinking out loud.
I said, ooh, I'm blinded by the lights. No,
And that's the no or one. Put it right up there.
no, I can't.
And yeah, we're in F sharp, so we know that's a 1. Okay, let's just draw a little beginning tail for that. We're up there.
No, I can't sleep until I feel your touch.
So with this, there's like some natural vocal dips that happen. You want to leave these in there. This is a kind of big scoop, but it does sound more natural to have the scoop. So we don't want to start it here, even there's a little bump. Start it there, but let's just make sure we don't start it right as soon as this other note ends, or it'll go jump unnaturally. Up here's the undo, redo buttons, just a heads up. And we're back to where we were.
Until I feel your touch. I said, ooh, I'm drowning in the night. Oh, when I
Can keep this little tail down here if we want.
oh, when I'm like this.
And a lot of times if it's staying close enough, you really don't have to be as careful as I've been being. You can get a little more reckless with how you draw the notes because it's already in the shape that you really want it to be.
Oh, when I'm like this, you're the one.
Not that note though.
You're the one I trust.
Cool. And then you have some spoken words sometimes in vocals, and they just sound better as spoken words, so you like them usually to not be on notes. So I'm gonna leave these completely unchanged. Let's listen to the work we've done.
I said, ooh, I'm blinded by the lights. No, I can't sleep until I feel your touch. I said, ooh, I'm drowning in the night. Oh, when I'm like this, you're the one I trust.
I even like to add another auto-tune using the actual auto mode. Classic and Formant have different sounds. Classic is a little more of the T-Pain. Formant is a little more transparent and natural. Let's add some classic auto-tune tone though. And we can go looser, we can go tighter, but now that we have all the notes being correct, we know the auto-tune is going to grab them and pull them towards the right note no matter how fast we go. Option drag this one on to the first track. Now you can also go play with adding more reverb to parts to just make them vibe out. Sometimes it even hides a little roughness if you are using a vocal that's less than perfected.
Maybe I'm going through withdrawals. You don't even have to do too much. You can turn me on with just a touch.
All right, so let's say we do want to commit up to this insert. I'm gonna hide and make inactive so we still have the original track. And the reason I'm doing this is because I want to use this lead vocal that's now tuned and the correct notes to make octaves and harmonies out of. Let's bring up a background track. I can just option drag this down. Let's turn it up a little bit.
I said, ooh, I'm blinded by the light.
So we add auto-tune. Let's track all of this in. You know, again, change the key and the input type. We've got the format rockin'. Cool.
I said, ooh, I'm blinded by the light.
Now you're hearing this filter I have rolling the highs off. The sound did not change because I dragged it, but because it's a harmony, I want the highs gone so that the top end of the vocal doesn't really clash once it's made into like fake higher notes.
You're the one I trust.
The easiest way to do this for me, I hit make notes because they're already tuned correctly to where I want them. And let's just move it up a third. We can zoom in a little bit so you can see kind of what I'm doing here. In these black lines, these are the notes that are in the key we're working with. 1, 2, 3. I'm taking just a big chunk and doing that. Some of the notes are not going to go to the correct ones, but this generally gets them there, and then we can tweak them from there.
I said, ooh, I'm blinded by the lights.
So all these notes are pretty good so far.
Oh, when I'm like this, you're the one I trust.
So that puts all those harmonies into the range of about 1/3, and we can straight up print that or commit up to this insert. Another reason I like rendering is so I can fly it around, copy paste, and it'll keep all of that work we've done. One thing I always like to do to faked harmonies is roll the highs off.
Oh, when I'm like
Just gives it that body of the note without clashing with the top end.
Hey,
So I'm just gonna have this faintly in there so you can barely hear it.
come on. I said, ooh, I'm blinded by the lights. No, I can't sleep until I feel your touch.
A last little trick I like to do is, let's say I duplicate this lead so that the lead is going into the same exact channel, and then I throw some modulation on it. I like to use the Real ADT. It triples the vocal. I will take out the center one, leave the original as the center, mute that, and then pan left and right on the double and triple.
I said, ooh,
And then it gives a nice little lush stereo width.
no, I can't sleep until
You can blend it in however you want.
your touch. I said, ooh.
And that just helps separate the chorus vocal from the verse vocal, pops out a little bit more, makes it a little bit bigger, etc.
So now that we have a tuned verse and chorus, added some plugins and effects to help everything sit together in the mix, let's take a listen to our finished song to find out how good bad singing can sound with AutoTune.
I've been trying to call, I've been on my own for long enough. Maybe you could show me how to love. Maybe I'm going through withdrawals. You don't even have to do too much. You can turn me on with just a touch, baby. I look around and Sin City's cold and empty. No one around to judge me. I can't see clearly when you're gone. I said, ooh, I'm blinded by the lights. No, I can't sleep until I feel your touch. I said, ooh, I'm drowning in the night. Oh, when I'm like this, you're the one I trust. Hey, hey.
So there you have it, how we tune my vocals from start to finish. I want to know if you think AutoTune can fix bad singing. Leave a comment below, and if you loved this video, then you'll definitely love the full-length 90+ minute course where we cover how to fix bad singing, how to fix good singing, and so much more, only at wholeloops.com. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll catch you next time in another tutorial.